Namaste. The teacher student in me acknowledges and honors the teacher student in you. So, as we are just recovering from, unfortunately, another assault and abduction by the wannabe authoritarians, we're just doing some research here, just keeping up on current events, right? So, so today's August 1st, 2021, and last night, came across an article out in Corona, California, at a movie theater that was showing The Purge Forever. And apparently, three people in the movie theater got shot execution style. And it was a late night movie, which was on a Friday night. We don't know, just from the lack of information, whether that movie theater is a standalone movie theater. We don't know. We can expect that there was more than just the three people whose body got killed and the shooter. First thing, this is a worldwide pandemic, so we got social distance going on here. While I have yet to be in a movie theater in many, many, many years, we expect that they've been still social distancing, regardless, because it does not take a fucking genius or a rocket scientist to know how to protect yourself from a virus. Okay. So we've got these three people and a person who wants to kill them execution style. And while the information hasn't come out about, what they were doing in order to try to defend themselves against this executioner, you would think that anybody's, if you got somebody that's next to you that just got fucking execution style shot in their head, that you is going to want to disarm the motherfucking assailant before he get any other shots off. I mean, the time that it would have took the person to shoot the one guy, the any other bodies that's even close to that guy, which they all was friends, right? The thing is that you is not going to outrun a bullet. So if somebody is shooting a gun, you are going to be, depending on where you're located, right? But if you is right next to them, and I don't give a fuck, The Purge Forever, it's even at the movie theater sound system, it's going, a gunshot I expect would be louder than anything going on the movie, right? Because even still, if you're in a movie theater, it's strangers in the movie theater unless the people that you with. So when people coming up, you're going to be paying attention to that shit. So that is that. Unfortunately, there was a woman and her dog that got killed out in Atlanta at a dog park while she was walking her four-legged child. And her four-legged child got stabbed to death. And we are sending a lot of energy that her partner gets her own justice. Now, today, this morning, or this afternoon, as I was looking here, came across this article dated 6 a.m. this morning, August 1st, by Rich Shapiro. And it's titled, Plot Thickens in Whitey Bulger Murder Case with Transfer of Two Prisoners. A group of inmates were whisked to solitary confinement after the notorious gangster's killing. Nearly 3 years later, all but one have been moved away. In the hours after Boston crime boss James Whitey Bulger was found beaten to death in his prison cell, 3 inmates were hauled away to solitary confinement. There they remained for 2 years, 8 months, and more than 20 days, as the investigation into Bulger's murder dragged on. Well, peoples, obviously, it was not the inmates who killed him. Obviously, it wasn't. It was the officials, the prison officials, and it's very clear here when we go to a different article, because as I'm reading this, I'm like, hold up, wait the fuck a minute. I have never, ever in my body's, over 4 decades in existence, have ever heard of any crime boss, any alleged crime boss, because we already know who's the want to be biggest crime bosses in the planet. I have never heard of any alleged crime boss being murdered in prison. None. This one, this is like a first one. Okay. So then as I'm reading it, because I don't we be doing other things than, being all up onto current events, right? So then I wanted to just research, because the body being traumatized, psychogenic traumatized, re-traumatized by the brutality of the quote unquote wannabe Gestapo police. Yeah, authoritarians, whether they in zoot suits or fucking uniforms with fucking guns and blah blah blah. Okay, so I went ahead and I did a little quick research just to refresh my memory and just to make sure that I know what the fuck I remember. And so I did a little quick search and I just asked how many crime bosses have been murdered in prison in the United States of America. And sure enough, didn't have any come up except for Whitey Bulger. So then here is another article that came up, which is very telling. Okay? This article that is dated, let's see here, dated April 29th, 2019. It's reported by CNN by Eric Levinson, 12:02 p.m. on Monday, April 29th, 2019. And it is titled Whitey Bulger's former prison warden says the mob boss wanted to die. Now, this guy, who's a fucking genius, he was portrayed by Johnny Depp, who did an outstanding performance, mind you. He was on the run, on the lam, quote unquote. We're going to use that. And we're not using that in a murderous fashion of all of those fucking want to be serial killer, weak ass individuals that think it's okay to kill and eat lambs, right? So Whitey Bulger, he was on the run for decades and decades. Okay? Free. He gets caught. And do you think if he really wanted to die, he would have killed himself prior to being captive by y'all punk ass bitches? Really? So this warden, prison warden, his prison officials faced significant criticism last year when infamous mob boss James Whitey Bulger was transferred to a new prison and then almost immediately killed by other prisoners. Quote unquote, other prisoners. Oh yeah. Y'all bitches is just as much prisoners, aren't you, in your own fucking wants to be hell houses, horrors, right? mm. But in a new interview with NBC News, Bulger's former prison warden deflected blame and put the onus on the notorious Boston gangster himself. In quotes, quite frankly, I think he wanted to die, Charles Luckett, the Florida Penitentiary's former warden, told NBC News. In quotes, I think whatever issues he had come to peace with them. Right there, people. Fucking easy, easy, easy Freudian fucking Psychology. Right the fuck there. But no, what's going on? We got these poor prisoners that they trying to pin this murder of a famous Boston crime boss. They trying to pin it on these three poor guys. That's these two prisoners, de Paul de go hold on, Paul de Cologerno and Sean McKinnon were transferred out of the federal prison in West Virginia, according to online records and family members. The man left behind an alleged former mafia hitman named Fotios Freddy Gies, remains in solitary confinement. This guy remains in fucking solitary confinement. They done relocated Paul de and I used to be able to pronounce his name properly. This fucking assault by these fucking punk ass. Yeah. So Paul de Cologuero, you don't get it, buddy. De Cologuero and Sean McKinnon, they were transferred out of the federal prison in West Virginia, according to online records and family members. And this is an article that's reported August 1st, 2021 at 6 a.m. That's just fucked up. That's just what this is. This is another example of those that think that they are immune to their bad actions, also known as karma actions. They think that they're immune to it. And they think that there are so many doctors and medical personnel that don't see their badness because they feel that they got money. And so the medical industry is going to do whatever they tell them to do in order to keep their fucked up ass disgusting selves alive. And we beg to differ because we know many doctors who volunteer their services. So we are just going to continue to participate in a magnificently beautiful, unconditionally loving, free, and happy place for animals and for some humans. For our planet, our galaxies, our Namaste. This is a private service announcement for all of those who appreciate and enjoy my nonprofit organization, Winning Every Struggle Together, Uniting People of All Color. Acronym WEST2PAC. Namaste.